Welcome to our first ever Let's Talk WIC webinar. Let's take a look at the learning objectives for today's session. I will be providing an overview of the WIC program, as well as details related to WIC eligibility, the impact WIC services has on the community, and lastly, share specific information with you about Well Child Center's WIC program in Northern King County. What is WIC? That is the big question. WIC is the Special Supplemental Nutrition Program for women, infants, and children. It is a federal grant program for which Congress authorizes a specific amount of funds each year for the program, and it's administered at the federal level by FNS, which is the Food and Nutrition Services Department. There are approximately 1,900 local agencies in 10,000 clinic sites. It functions in 50 state health departments, the District of Columbia, and 5 territories. These territories include Northern Mariana, American Samoa, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. The WIC mission is to safeguard the health of low-income women, infants, and children up to the age of 5 who are at nutritional risk by providing nutritious foods to supplement diets, information on healthy eating, and referrals to healthcare. Let's talk eligibility. There are 4 key categories for WIC eligibility: categorical, residential, income, and nutritional risk. WIC serves low-income women, infants, and children. These populations include pregnant women through pregnancy and up to 6 weeks after birth or after pregnancy ends. After pregnancy would especially be true for those women who unfortunately have had a miscarriage. WIC services would still be available to these individuals up to 6 weeks. Breastfeeding women up to the infant's first birthday, non-breastfeeding postpartum women up to 6 months after the birth of an infant, and for infants up to the first birthday. WIC applicants must be an Illinois resident, though there is no criteria as to the duration of time. There are, however, some exceptions to this requirement. Furthermore, there are flexibilities within the WIC program where those who fall under the category of being a refugee and/or an evacuee are also eligible to receive services. Again, it's important to know that applicants are not required to live in the state or local service area for a certain amount of time in order to meet the WIC residency requirement. Myth versus fact. We find that there is a very common myth related to residential eligibility that we are trying to dispel. Myth: you must be a U.S. citizen to participate and receive benefits from WIC. Fact: WIC does not require proof of citizenship or immigration status. Having proof of citizenship or immigration status is not an eligibility criteria for WIC. Applicants must have income at or below an income level or standard set by the state agency, or be determined automatically income eligible based on participation in certain programs. The income eligibility guideline is updated each fiscal year, which spans from July 1st through June 30th. The state agency's income standard must be between 100% of the federal poverty guidelines issued each year by the Department of Human Health and Services, but not more than 185% of the federal poverty income guidelines. The nutritional risk component of the eligibility criteria states that applicants must be seen by a health professional, such as a physician, a nurse, or a nutritionist, who must determine whether the individual is at nutritional risk. Nutritional risk means that an individual has a medical-based or dietary-based condition. Examples of these include anemia, low blood levels, underweight, or history of poor pregnancy outcomes, such as repeated miscarriages. WIC serves almost half of all infants born in the United States. There were over 150,000 program participants in Illinois as of March of 2022. This is an increase of 2.7% over a one-year span. Well Child Center has, on average, an annual assigned caseload of more than 5,800 families. The WIC team at Well Child Center is made up of nutritionists, peer counselors, dietitians, breastfeeding coordinator, and myself, the WIC coordinator, also known as the WIC manager. Included in the WIC food packages are shown on the screen. These are food groups and examples of food items included within participant food packages. Food packages are individualized per the participants' food choices and allergies based on the WIC-approved foods. There are little variations to the food groups within the food packages. The major differences come from the categorical factors for the participant. For example, it's obvious that food consistencies and amounts are different for infants than that of children, as their oral intake and nutritional needs are different from where they are in their life cycle. More importantly, the food package amounts are different for those participants who are exclusively breastfeeding and those who are partially breastfeeding. I did want to include that WIC greatly supports and promotes breastfeeding, and it works to normalize it as the golden standard for infant feeding. Well Child Center has 4 WIC locations in the northern King County area. If a participant or client or yourself are unsure which WIC clinic they should visit, you can always call our main office. Information is also available on the Well Child Center website. This concludes our WIC talk. I hope you found this presentation to be informative. Thank you for attending and taking the time to help Well Child Center grow healthy families. Have a beautiful day.